Trading discipline is the hardest lesson a man can learn in this business, not because the rules are complicated, but because the mind refuses to obey them when money is on the line. The market doesn't test your intelligence, it tests your self-control. It tests your ability to do nothing when doing nothing is the right thing. I've seen men who could analyze every tick, memorize every chart pattern, quote every piece of market gossip, and yet they lost it all because they couldn't control themselves. They traded every movement, every rumor, every flicker of emotion. The market rewards patience, not impulse. It punishes the man who acts on hope, and it destroys the man who refuses to admit when he's wrong. I learned that lesson not from textbooks but from pain. Every mistake I made was expensive tuition paid to the market. There were times I knew exactly what I should do, and still I did the opposite. You know the feeling. You take a position. It moves against you a little. And instead of cutting the loss, you wait. You tell yourself it will come back. You add a little more, convinced the market is wrong and you're right, but the market never argues. It simply moves. And when it does, it teaches you that discipline is not a choice, it's survival. The key to discipline starts long before you place a trade. It begins with your plan. Every position must have two numbers, your entry and your exit. Anything beyond that is emotion. When you don't know where you'll get out, the market will decide for you, and it never chooses the price you want. The market is a machine designed to separate the disciplined from the impulsive. The most dangerous moment for a trader is after a winning streak. Success breeds carelessness. A few good trades make you feel invincible, and that's when the market reminds you how small you are. Confidence without humility is the prelude to ruin. After big wins, I used to tighten my rules. I'd cut position size, reduce risk, remind myself that the market owed me nothing. The moment you feel the market owes you, you're finished. Discipline isn't about never being wrong. You will be wrong often. Discipline means you never let one mistake destroy you. It's the ability to take a small loss with the same calmness as a small gain. The average trader wants to be right, but the successful trader wants to make money. Those are not the same thing. Being right all the time is impossible, but managing losses is entirely within your control. The first time I made a fortune, I thought I had conquered the market. I was young, overconfident, and convinced that my talent could bend the market to my will. Then came a mistake, one position I refused to close because my ego couldn't handle being wrong. I watched profit turn to loss and loss turn to ruin. That's when I realized the market is never wrong. Opinions can be wrong, predictions can be wrong, but price, that's truth. When price tells you you're wrong, believe it quickly. Many traders think discipline means emotionless trading. It doesn't. You can't remove emotion, you can only master it. Fear and greed are part of being human. The key is to make them work for you. Fear should stop you from taking reckless trades. Greed should drive you to study harder, to wait for the perfect setup. The problem is when those emotions switch places, when greed makes you chase and fear makes you freeze. There's an old saying, it's not the bad trades that destroy you, it's the good trades handled badly. A trader gets a small profit, feels relief, and closes too early, then watches the move continue without him. Frustration builds. So next time, he holds too long, determined not to miss out again, and ends up giving it all back. This is the cycle of undisciplined trading, overconfidence, fear, revenge, regret. The only way to break it is to follow a plan so simple that emotion has no room to interfere. When I studied the tape, I noticed something: big moves never happen all at once. The market moves in waves. The first wave attracts professionals, the second attracts the hopeful, the third attracts the fools. The disciplined trader enters with the professionals and exits before the fools arrive. That's the rhythm of money. Discipline means knowing which wave you're riding and having the strength to step off before it crashes. Another secret of discipline is isolation. A trader must learn to stand alone. The moment you start listening to too many opinions, your own judgment weakens. I used to sit in brokerage houses, surrounded by chatter and noise, watching others panic at every tick. That noise is poison to discipline. You start to doubt your plan, to trade someone else's conviction instead of your own. The best traders I've ever known could sit silently for hours, waiting for their moment, deaf to the noise. Discipline also means waiting for confirmation. The crowd acts on anticipation, the professional acts on evidence. I've seen fortunes lost because a man wanted to be the first to call a bottom or a top. The market doesn't reward being first, it rewards being right. Wait for proof. Let the market confirm your opinion before you risk your capital. The goal isn't to catch every move, it's to catch the meaningful ones. There's another trap discipline helps you avoid: overtrading. Many traders believe the more trades they make, the more chances they have to win. That's a lie. The more you trade, the more mistakes you make. The best trades come rarely. I often waited weeks for the right setup. I wasn't paid for activity, I was paid for accuracy. Patience is the backbone of discipline. And let me tell you this, discipline isn't something you achieve once and keep forever. It's a muscle you must train daily. Every temptation to break your rules is a test. The moment you start rationalizing, telling yourself just this once, you're sliding toward disaster. The market will always give you enough rope to hang yourself. Your only defense is consistency. The irony of trading is that the less you do, the more you make. Most traders think they need to be constantly active. The truth is, the money is made in waiting, waiting for clarity, waiting for strength, waiting for the moment when everything aligns. The patient man takes the impatient man's money every time. Discipline also means controlling your size. The fastest way to lose everything is to trade too big. A large position amplifies every emotion. A small move feels like a storm. The trader's mind becomes obsessed with each tick, and clarity disappears. The goal of trading is not excitement, it's endurance. Trade small enough that you can think clearly. Only increase size when your system, not your emotions, proves itself. Many think trading is about prediction, but it's really about reaction. You can't control what the market does. You can only control what you do in response. Discipline means reacting to facts, not hopes. Every time you obey your rules instead of your emotions, you strengthen the part of yourself that survives. There's a moment every trader faces, the moment after a big loss. You feel broken, humiliated, tempted to win it all back. That's where most careers end. But discipline tells you, stop, step away. Clear your mind. The market will be there tomorrow. No trade is so urgent that you must act while emotional. The best trades I ever made came after rest, not revenge. I learned to think of trading like warfare. Discipline is your armor. Without it, you go to battle naked. Every rule you set protects you from one form of destruction: overconfidence, greed, fear, impulsiveness. Break one rule, and the armor cracks. Break enough, and the market finishes you. Even success requires discipline to handle. When you're winning, the temptation to loosen your standards is even greater. You start taking trades outside your plan, assuming your luck will continue. That's the trap. Discipline means you treat success the same way you treat failure, with structure. Never let euphoria dictate your next move. You will know you've mastered discipline when doing nothing feels natural, when you can watch the market move without flinching, when you can close a losing trade and sleep peacefully, when you can ignore the crowd and trust your own judgment. That's when you've graduated from gambler to professional. Remember this: the market rewards the man who acts like a machine but thinks like a human. Cold execution, warm understanding, logic in your trading, emotion in your study. That balance is the essence of discipline. In the end, discipline is not about markets at all, it's about character. The market merely reveals who you are under pressure. If you are careless, it exposes your carelessness. If you are greedy, it magnifies your greed. But if you are patient, disciplined, and honest with yourself, the market becomes your greatest teacher. Master discipline, and the market will become your servant. Lose discipline, and you will become its victim. The choice is made not once, but every day you sit before the screen. The market doesn't care about your opinions, your dreams, or your reasons. It respects only discipline, And if you can hold that, you can master anything, not just trading, but life itself.